Broadchurch is a British television crime drama created and written by Chris Chibnall, broadcast on ITV and produced by Kudos. It stars David Tennant and Olivia Colman. Casting was announced in June 2012, with filming commencing in Clevedon in August as well as in West Bay and Bridport. It premiered on March 4, 2013 at 9 p.m. on ITV. In January 2013, the series was acquired by BBC America, where it was shown in the United States beginning August 7, 2013. Set on the Dorset coast, it centers on the death of an 11-year-old boy, and the search for his murderer by detectives Alec Hardy and Ellie Miller. Its first series achieved high ratings for ITV, winning critical acclaim, while also generating a large amount of publicity around the whodunit mystery. After the first series ended, ITV announced that Broadchurch would return for a second series. The Fox Broadcasting Network announced that they would produce a remake of Broadchurch for U.S. audiences to air in the 2014 Euro 15 season, called Gracepoint. Once again, David Tennant has been cast as the lead detective, this time named Emmett Carver. Development. Series creator Chris Chibnall described the project as a labor of love. He had always wanted to create a big ensemble drama exploring how a death might affect a community set in the area where he had lived for the last decade. The location of the series was partly inspired by the fact that he lived near the Jurassic Coast in Dorset. Though he came up with the idea for and started plotting out Broadchurch in 2003, he did not complete it at that time. It was not until 2011 that he was inspired by a recent experience writing for a US show to take up Broadchurch once more, finishing the script for the first episode and asking ITV drama commissioner Laura Mackey to read it later that same year. Soon afterwards, she approved production. The series was filmed between August and November 2012, predominantly on the Jurassic Coast at West Bay and Dorset, with the town of Clevedon just outside Bristol doubling as the fictional town of Broadchurch, with interior scenes of the police station shot in studios in Bristol. The secrecy surrounding the conclusion of the first series was well noted. Olivia Colman confirmed in an interview with Graham Norton that only 4 cast members knew the identity of the murderer during filming. The complete series of Broadchurch was released by Acorn Media UK on May 20, 2013. While ITV originally commissioned only one series, and creator Chris Chibnall said nothing about, Broadchurch was devised as a big ITV returning banker. Chibnall originally created Broadchurch to be a trilogy, planned to run for 3 series. In a Royal Television Society Q&A in November 2013 he discussed how Broadchurch Series 1 was written to work both as a self-contained drama and as the first of a trilogy, as the second and third series being commissioned was dependent on how successful the first was. The final episode of Series 1 finished with a caption reading Broadchurch will return. In April 2013 ITV confirmed that Broadchurch had been commissioned for a second series to begin production in 2014. On May 12, 2014, ITV announced that David Tennant, Olivia Colman, Jodie Whittaker, Andrew Buchan and Arthur Darvill would all be returning, to be joined by new cast members Charlotte Rampling, Eve Mills, Marianne Jean-Baptiste, James Dessy and Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Broadchurch Series 2 will be filmed in and around Dorset and North Somerset starting in late May 2014. Characters: Detective Inspector Alec Hardy. Alec is an experienced detective from the city who has recently arrived in Broadchurch, wanting a quiet life after a scandal-tinged work history. Detective Sergeant Ellie Miller. Ellie is a local detective with a personal connection to Danny's murder, having been friendly with the Latimer family for a number of years. Beth Latimer. Beth is Danny's and Chloe's mother, and Mark's wife. She is completely overwhelmed by Danny's death, and struggles to trust her husband. Mark Latimer. Mark is Danny's and Chloe's father, and Beth's husband. He is a plumber. After Danny's death, he began desperately grieving for his son, becoming determined to find the killer. His alibi is called into question when he is unable to account for his whereabouts on the night of Danny's death. Tom Miller. Tom is Ellie and Joe's elder son, and said to be Danny's best friend, though Tom denies this. He is a pupil in the final year of primary school. Chloe Latimer. Chloe is Beth's and Mark's 15-year-old daughter. She is a student currently studying for her GCSEs. Chloe is overwhelmed by her brother's sudden death, but her relationship with an older boy, Dean, is another source of stress. Oliver Ollie Stevenson Ollie is Ellie's nephew and a budding reporter for the Broadchurch Echo. Series 2 confirmed cast members include Marianne Jean-Baptiste, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, James Dessy and Eve Mills. Episodes, Series 1, ratings. The series launched to 6.15 million viewers with a 25.2% share, with an extra 716K switching on to watch on Plus One. It won its time slot beating Mayday and Embarrassing Bodies. The second episode continued to perform well, pulling in 5.78 million viewers with a 23.2%, with an extra 606K watched on Plus One. It once again won its competitive time slot beating Embarrassing Bodies and BBC One's Shetland. The third episode climbed to its biggest audience so far, pulling in 7.30 million viewers with a 30.9% share, adding an extra 241,000 on Plus One. Once again it won its time slot. The fourth episode continued to a massive audience, pulling in 6.88 million viewers with 28.1% share, and further 308K watched on Plus One. The fifth episode climbed in the ratings from the previous week to help give ITV a win over BBC One, overnight data revealed. The fifth episode attracted 6.29 million viewers at 9 p.m. A further 310,000 tuned in on ITV Plus One. The sixth episode climbed once again in the ratings, overnight data revealed. The penultimate episode won an audience of 6.93 million on ITV at 9 p.m., with 342,000 tuning in on ITV Plus One. Awards and nominations. Soundtrack. The soundtrack to Broadchurch Series 1 was composed by BAFTA award-winning artist Olivia Arnolds. Arnolds, born November 3, 1986, is a multi-instrumentalist and producer from Mosfellsbær, Iceland. Arnolds composed the score for Broadchurch, with Chris Chibnall apparently listening to his music whilst writing the show, making Olivia a natural choice as the show was inspired by his albums. Arnolds received positive critical acclaim for the composition in addition to a BAFTA for Original Television Music 2014 feat. The Broadchurch EP was released on 13 April 2013 by Mercury Classics, a division of Decca Records. Main theme Olivia Arnolds, So Close Olivia Arnolds, Suspects Olivia Arnolds, Arcade Olivia Arnolds, Broken Olivia Arnolds, Beth's theme Olivia Arnolds, Home Media, Broadchurch. The complete first season was released on DVD format on April 1, 2014 in the US. The 3-disc set will contain all 8 episodes, as well as bonus features such as Broadchurch, Behind the Scenes, and Deleted Scenes. American adaptation. References. External links. Broadchurch at the Internet Movie Database, BAFTA Guru Broadchurch, TV Q&A.